What's going on, everybody? This is ODC, that's me, and I'm back with another action figure review. This is my review of the Marvel Legends Infinite Series X-Men Wave Toys R Us exclusive Storm figure. Now, this is probably the meat and potatoes of the wave. This is the figure to get in this wave, in my book. It's been long waited to get a new Storm. The last one we had was from Toy Biz, and the previous one from that was from the X-Men Classics, which was the all-white version. I have the all-black version, which I actually did a review of, so if you want to check that out, you can go through my video library and check it out. It is up there. But this is just the gem, the absolute gem of this wave. I would say her and Strife are the two to really get. I think she's beautifully done. I love the head sculpt. I love the her cape, if you want to call it that, on her here. I don't really have a problem with the texture of it, which most reviewers did. I think it works. It's fine. If it gets wrinkled, you can fix that, no problem. It's not a big deal. I mean, it's not a deal breaker for me. I don't know. I don't really have any issues with this. I think they got the right body. They got the right chest type for her. They got everything is perfect for this figure. And if you don't have a Storm figure, or if you just want an updated Storm, because this is her Marvel Now look, this is the one to go with. I really do like it a lot. I love the mohawk. I love the paint shading in here. I love the paint applications. It's simplistic in design, but it works. It really does work. The articulation's good on her. She is basically based off of the the Black Cat body buck or the Satana body buck, the newer body buck, but she also has a different upper torso, which is a smaller chest size. It's not as voluptuous as Black Cat's was, but I think it works for Storm. I don't have a problem with that, so let me just take her off this flight stand here. Kind of got her in this pose. She's not difficult to stand, really. I thought she was going to be more difficult to stand than the norm, but I mean, I'm not really going to have her stand. I mean, how many people have Storm standing anyway? So, but let's get started with her head sculpt here. Like I said, there's some gray shading going throughout and some white. Actually, it's mostly, I think the base coat is just gray, and then they have some white shading actually going throughout here. So I think that's actually a better pick. Some might say, oh, her hair should be white. But, I mean, I don't mind that it's like more of a grayish, and then there's like a white tint going throughout it. I don't really mind it. I think they nailed the face. I think it looks very well done. Yeah, definitely in my book, her and Strife are the ones to get. Pop the head back on here. She does have these rings. Now, I would try to be careful. I think if I had to pick a down note on this figure, it would probably be these plastic rings over time. Probably if she falls off your shelf enough and she bangs them, they might snap off or break. But I mean, I guess it's nothing you can't fix. You could probably get a metal ring from like a keychain or something like that and probably replace it through, because these are just a loophole right here. You can probably loop them through and fix them that way, but just forewarning you, I would be careful with those because they are plastic rings and they're not metal. So, but yeah, as I said, I think this is the right body for her. This is pretty much a perfect display of how a female body should be for an action figure. I think it's got the curvy hips. It's got like that kind of like hourglass look to her, and I think it works well. I really do. As far as her articulation goes, her head has a decent amount of articulation. Not so much going back because of the mohawk, but it does look down nicely, and it does. Oh, come on. She's a little stiff. There we go. It does look down nicely. and it does look side to side. Don't have a problem there, and it still does look up a little bit, but not too much. She does also have the tilt effect in her head, so you can kind of get a little bit more of a character out of her if you want a little bit more attitude or whatever you want to call it. Her arms move up about that far, and they do move down. They can do a full 360 if you really want them to. The cape might hinder it a little bit because of the way it's set up, but you can still get the range of motion that you need. She does have a diaphragm joint, which has a pretty decent range of motion. She basically can do the hula hoops right here. But it does shift side to side nicely, and it does go back and forward nicely. So it's not too bad. I don't really mind that they didn't give us a waist swivel or an ab crunch. She does have the T-joint hips, and she can do the splits about that far. And they do go forward, and they do go back a little bit, but the way the butt is sculpted, it's hindering it from going back too far. She does have an upper thigh swivel, double jointed knees, no boot swivel, but she does have an ankle hinge going forward and back, and that ankle pivot. As far as her elbows, they are single jointed, so there you go. And she does have a wrist hinge, which is perfect for her, and a nice wrist swivel. So there you go. There's all of her articulation. Like I said, this is like a different type of fabric. It's kind of like a tablecloth, similar to like some sort of like those like checkered, red and white checkered tablecloths. But I think she's very well done. I think she was a long-awaited, much-needed, updated figure. We have our Jim Lee version of her, and now we have our Marvel Now version of her. It would be so great if we can get like an AVX version of her with that nice, she had her nice long hair and that kind of headband going across. It was almost very similar to what she looked like in the 80s, in the 70s. And that would be really cool if they could eventually give us that one day. But as far as right now, I'm happy to have this Storm. It would have been nice if they gave us a version of Magneto to go with this Storm. A Marvel Now Magneto. Maybe they could have given us a variant with different color or paint applications or something like that. But for now, this will do. And this will be nice to go with... whatchamacallit, put her with Wolverine and I don't know. I mean, even if you wanted to do a different customization on her and just do like a what was it, like a early 90s look for her, you could totally pull that off with the mohawk and everything. Or I know she did have a mohawk for a little while, and so yeah, you could totally do that. As I'm fumbling and just kind of ranting, but I really do like this figure a lot, and I would say that if you were to only get two, it would have to be her and Strife out of the two, out of the wave here. As I'm just babbling now. Oh my God, shut up, Anthony. But anyway, that's pretty much it. And I'm happy to have her. I think she looks very nicely done. I would definitely give her 2 thumbs up and recommend her to you if you're new to Marvel Legends or we're kind of on the fence with this figure. Definitely go pick her up. She does come with the torso and lower legs of Jubilee, and that's a key piece that you need as well. So with that being said, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.